Hey guys, my name is Serenity0621. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you like what I'm putting out, the new content. We are going to be covering in this video the new Arc Raiders updates and the patch notes that were currently applied to Arc Raiders. We'll be talking about the Hurricane feature and all of the new features that they added. They even changed up Scrappy a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed that too. So let's get into it. Let's see what we've learned. Let's talk about this. For the appearance customization feature for Arc Raiders, and they still have not fixed the female's hair. I mean, look at that. Like, my braids don't even go all the way down to my shoulders. I don't know if a lot of people have noticed that, but they did give beards to the male characters. If you want to apply beards to your female characters, that's up to you. But I personally think as a female playing Arc Raiders that they should add more hair options as well. Next, we are going to cover this thing. This is called the Firefly. This thing is like if a hornet and a fireball had a baby, and boom, that's what it is. Look at me trying to get on it. I'm trying to give the initiation of putting a deadline on it. So that's going to be a cool new challenge for me. Yeah. Anyway, so essentially what they do is they shoot fire at you while you're trying to kill it. And from a distance, to me, it looks like a hornet. And look, it literally just killed itself. So I don't know if that's supposed to be a thing or a feature here, but it just decided to go on its own. And here it is in the Hurricane update in this map, Buried City. We are in Hurricane here. As you can see, visibility is all right. It's not that bad. I expected little to no, but I mean, I could kind of see. I did have to look at the map a few times to figure out where I was when I first spawned in. But then, yeah, here we are, the blue gate for Hurricane. And one of the things about this is it is mostly outside. One of the tips I've learned is remove your shield when you're in Hurricane. And that's completely up to you because it literally gives you away because your shield lights up. It's almost like you can see raiders from a faraway distance because your shield gives you away and it lights up your whole backpack when you're walking around. So I just took off my shield. And then the next feature, which I find fun and exciting, is you can play the piano. And when I did a poll in my Discord to see what would be cool to add to Arc Raiders, and one of them was piano. We could play the piano. So I think that this is cool. And my buddy and I went around and found all of the pianos in Buried City and started playing all of them. So I thought that was really cool. And we knew that somebody was in the same house as us because there were two pianos. There was one on the first floor and one on the second floor. As you can see, my backpack does light up here in the Hurricane environment. That's because I have my shield on. It kind of gives you away where you see the raider, but at the same time, if you're more of a PvE player and you're trying to get everybody out, you can see raiders from a distance. So yeah, that's what the features I've played with so far. So we're gonna just go and fly through these patch notes that they have applied to arcraiders.com. All right guys, so sit down and relax. This might be a kind of a longish video, but we're gonna go through everything in these patch notes. We're just gonna hit the basics as much as possible, but it is going to hit a lot of things that happen. This feels like a big update that Arc Raiders needed. They needed something. In my last video, I said, hey, Arc Raiders need something, and they gave us something, but also that something does come with other things. So again, the new Hurricane feature, environmental feature, has come out. There are two Arc enemies, new ones, which we will go over. Here's one called the Fireball, who literally shoots fire at you. And then there's another, the Weather Monitoring System, which is a seasonal player project. Another free Raider deck, Battlegrounds map update, another expedition window, and of course we went over the hair customizations, which honestly I think they should add females as well. So we will hit all of those things and we will talk about those things in a little bit more detail here. Okay, so we've already covered our hurricane map conditions. Again, you can't see, but it does take out a lot of your shield. I personally just took off my shield or didn't come in with one. It didn't give my position away. Again, when you wear your shield, your backpack does kind of light up and does have like this electric feature to it. The next one is there are 2 new Ark enemies in Ark. One of them is the Firefly, which just it does shoot fire at you. It's kind of like if a hornet and a fireball kind of got together and had a kid, and that's it. Another one is a comet, which is literally like it's like a ball that rolls around. It looks like a severe volt, but then it opens up and it explodes. It'll shoot fire at you and then it'll explode, and it takes a lot of your damage. I took 2 on at once and I was knocked down. But it does make the game a little bit challenging because I was looking for a Surveyor Volt and it was not a Surveyor Volt. It was a Comet. But I did manage to get the parts I needed to make my my deadline, because you do need one of those Comet pieces to make a deadline, which we will go over later on in the video. And then I want to go over the weapons update because there was a lot of balance changes, a lot of changes in the weapons, especially with certain ones such as the Kettle, the Venator, the Jupiter got an update. A lot of weapons did get updates, which I am interested to see how it does play out. And I'm glad that the Venator did get an update because it really, really did. Because that was like the PvP weapon to use, and a lot of people used it. So every time I heard a Venator, I was out of there. Okay, so the first weapon that did get an update was the Kettle. The Kettle is supposed to be more of like a close range, close quarters type of thing, right? Turning into like a SMG type of thing. But it was more like it took down a lot of people. A lot of people used it. I remember getting knocked down by kettles and I was like, what the heck? That makes no sense to me. And I was shooting people with Venators and Torrentes, and you could say skill issue. But they did reduce the damage from 10 to 8.5 for the Kettle, which honestly, that's where it should be for that. Next, we're going to talk about the Venator. The Venator, they reduced the head shot multiplier damage from 2.5 to 2 and base damage from 9 to 8. Like I said, this weapon was dominating PvP, and that's what they have in the patch notes, that it was a dominating PvP weapon and it was the highest performance weapon in the game that they have seen based on their patch notes. So they wanted it to perform well, but maybe not that well, because it's not supposed to perform that well. So they did reduce the damage to that. The next weapon is the Jupiter. In PvP, the Jupiter does headshots in the game, and it is very difficult to hit headshots at a longer range. So they did improve the ADS magnification from negative 1.9 to negative 2.2. They did improve equipment time from 1.2 seconds to 1.2 seconds to 1.05 seconds. And then the unequipped time from 0.9 seconds to 0.75 seconds. Now, I personally don't use the Jupiter, even though I do have a couple blueprints on the Jupiter itself. So I'm not quite sure if it did need improving or not, but they did increase how much you zoom to get a better view of your targets. This is one of those epic weapons that should perform better than the Venator. So we'll see what happens. I may pop it out and see if it works. I don't know. I've never really used the Jupiter itself. And then the next weapon they did fix, I guess, was the Aphelion. So I did not know this, that the Aphelion was more intended to be more a PvP focused weapon. But again, the Venator was just knocking it out. Nobody wanted to use the Aphelion, so it wasn't performing as well as it needed to based on the dev notes. So they did do some changes. They wanted to make it feel more lighter, less bulky, kind of like the Venator. That's why people probably favor the Venator, because it felt light, it was easy to use, easier to handle. So they did reduce the base load time from 1.4 seconds to 3.5 seconds. They reduced time between shots from 0.9 seconds to 0.7 seconds. They reduced the vertical recoil to 50%, and improved ADS Seattle speed to 35%. I personally have not used a Philion because, again, it was one of those weapons I felt like did not perform well. I think I used it once when I got the blueprint, and then never again, because it felt weird. Again, it felt bulky. It felt like it was too much power. Um, so we'll see what these changes bring if people use them a little bit more. I think that's what the devs are trying to do, is make you use those epic weapons that are intended to be used in the game a little bit more, versus overpowered weapons such as the Kettle or the Stitcher or the Venator. It's good to see some of these changes that should have been addressed, but it's also good to see that they're probably gathering data to see what weapons need to be changed and not changed. So we were complaining and complaining, and they probably heard our complaints. They probably saw the reports when we were reporting players. Oh, this person died by a Kettle. They shouldn't have died by a Kettle. What is going on? Hey everybody, my name is Serenity0621. I appreciate you guys coming and watching my video. I just went over the weapons portion of the update. If you want to check out the rest of the update, I can make more videos about it and what my experiences were with each of the updates. However, this video is getting very long. I appreciate you guys coming along, talking about the weapons. And I probably missed a few, but hey, if you want to check out the updates that are happening, go to arcraiders.com/news, and you will get to see all of those updates happening in real time. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys following this video. Please like, follow, and subscribe. My name is Serenity0621. I am currently switching my streaming platform from Twitch to YouTube, so I will be streaming on YouTube more often. Please comment, view this video as much as possible, because the more views I get, the more views I am able to go and see my family back at home. Thank you.